Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, Pfunk. Thinking right out here in the lab. I'm doing a do for you. I'm about to give part two to that something going through, so let's get the party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. The message and story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in receiving them. We got a good thing going. I appreciate you. Let's do what we do. I got you. Right Thinkers mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinkers way of life, through mental and spiritual discipline, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission, to get all my right thinkers to do just that. That's why I do what I do, to give you the information so you can do just that. Know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. My job is to get you there. Let's go. Let's work together and make it happen. I ask, do you know you? It's rhetorical. And if you don't have the answer for yourself, it's okay. Tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. Help you to know you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not, foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not, hiccups, and thinks and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons, they reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my yacht, be true. I left off talking about men and Hetheru. Now let's talk about Hetheru, the goddess of passionate love and sexual desires. It's about to get interesting, okay? Alright, let's go. The hieroglyphs of Hetheru, as with men, show various attributes of this netter. Her bull horns, the cow horns, are an ancient symbol of what? Procreativity, generative principle, as well as the abundant fertility as represented by what? The cow. The cow is sacred in India. It still is. Hetheru represents what? Life, potency, fertility, birth, renewal, passion, and sexual desires from the female aspect. That's what you need to understand. They have them too. Watch this. Now, Hetheru is just an aspect of the female principle, which comes from what? The androgynous male, female, God, singular, netter, plural, are all female goddesses. Hetheru is what? She's full of life, and therefore she wears the headpiece of what? The cow horns, sometimes containing what? Sun disk in the middle, and it's symbolizing the fullness of her sun power. And this is what it looks like. You see the cow horns, see the sun disk right here? That's the cow horns by themselves. Okay? And that's her headdress. On the other page, you'll see that it's a linga and a minat, or minate, whatever you want to call it. Minat. It's an emblem and a symbol which represents the genitalia of the male and female. Okay? So that's what it's all about. You need two. And it's going to break it down in the lesson. I want to show you some aspects of it. So here we go. Now, I just showed you the horns by itself. That's now Hetheru symbolizes female sexual energy. Again, brothers, women got sexual desires like we do, but she represents it. And watch this. And as previously discussed, talked about it, she is also the eye of Ra, his daughter. The eye, Hetheru, has what? The power of fire to destroy evil and unrighteousness, much like in the Hindu goddess Kali. If you know anything about the Hindu god, Kali ain't to be messed with. Ooh, she like the Black Widow. She'll have sex with you and then cut your head off. Might not want to get that, fellas. So, but she represents this female sexual desires, and she gonna have her way, and then she gonna do what she do. But now Hetheru is, watch this, both sexual potent and fierce at the same time. That's a rough combination. Hetheru is also known as what? Hetheru, which means what? The house of Heru, and the house above, meaning up there or higher conscious. Okay, make it simple for you. She's meaning the house above, and the implication is what? Being that Hetheru is men's Heru sanctuary. What that means, and his also counterpart above. She was the spark which urged Heru. The phrase behind every good man is a good woman. Hetheru is behind Heru, a good woman. Watch this. Now, is she the one that urged him on to fight where? In the battle against who? The evil ego uncle Set. And it's a personal struggle. Watch this. Now, I tell you, Set and Heru occupy the same body. But Hetheru, which is the female part of Heru, she helps him in the struggle of what? Of life. See where I'm going with this? Now, in order to succeed in the struggle of life, watch this. Heru, which is me and you, men, our sexual concept, must live in who? Hetheru's qualities, which is what? Her sanctuary. All humans must find what? Hetheru within themselves in order to succeed in the struggle of the mortal war, for the struggle of existence and mastery of oneself. You have to win that moral struggle. I call it the holy war. Excuse me, I forget that quick. But the holy war meaning good, evil. It's inside you. What's going on? You're the deciding factor. Now, with knowledge and understanding of self, you can make the decision right every time. You know what you're doing. Get it right. Get it right. Get it right. That's living, doing, and being virtuous and righteous. When you are ignorant, you just haphazardly, like the guy just shooting everything. You ain't gonna hit nothing. So that's being ignorant of your higher self, the concept. But now they got in the Chester Beatty Papyrus, there's a story. Now you can listen to this one. The story is told how Ra, the king of God, they give all the aspects of your character. We bring them to life. We make characters of your characteristics, of your personality, so to speak, so we can live through them and emulate them. Watch this. So the story goes, Ra, who was the king of gods, and Hetheru, his father. He's her father. And he was depressed one day. And how Hetheru improved his disposition through her charms. I just told you who she is. She's the goddess of passionate love, all that good stuff. And what happened? Her father's depressed, and she, through her charm, showing how properly channeled sexual energy can change one's negative mental vibration into what? Creative fertility. What the hell are you talking about? All right. Every time I do this, I had to laugh to myself because I know how y'all going to take this. The great god Ra passed the day on his back in his arbor, and his heart was very sad. Okay. And he was alone. Cool. Now, after a long time, Hetheru, lady of the southern sycamore, she came and what? Stood before her father and the master of the universe. She did what? She uncovered her vulva for his face. And that great God did what? Smile. I don't know if I want my daughter to show me a private part, but that's what they said. I'm just reading it, okay? I can tell you, I don't always agree with everything that I learned, but I laugh and I got to understand that it's there. What I'm saying, that's what's there. Now, let's get past that. That's in the papyrus. One of Hetheru's instruments is the Menat, spelled M-E-N-A-T. Now, it is equal to what? The lingam or the yoni, which is the phallus and the vulva in India in the Hindu Tantra Yoga concept. You see the little round, let me show it to you. That's the lingam right there. The top one, that's the lingam of the yoni. Lingam is the phallus, yoni is the round circle, the phallus, and the yoni goes around it, the female part. Get it? So they show you the regenerative parts. And watch this, because they want you to get the message understanding. Watch this. Now the Manat and the Ankh of Egypt, as with the Indian lingam and yoni, what symbolizes or amulets, but they represent what? The united male and female sexual organs. Okay, no big deal. Calm down. When these opposites, and that's what they are, and the complementary energies, when they combine, here we go. This is how you stop the gender nonsense. Right here. This will end the whole argument. When you got the two opposite complementary energies, when they combine, the result, you ready? Life. Two men get together, the result ain't gonna be life. Two women get together, the result won't be life. So don't tell me they're free to be themselves. Yeah, but that means you shut down creation. And God told us to what? To be fruitful, to multiply. So that means homosexual activity, same sex, don't count. It never did, it never will. So stop making a lifestyle. So yeah, I'm like that. But what happens? Only way you can create life, male, female, opposites coming together for the common good to create life. And watch this. I'm adamant about this. In this case, we're referring to what? The birth of spiritual life of what? The individual. You becoming enlightened to yourself. That's the new awakening. That's born again. It ain't a physical thing. It's a mental and spiritual thing. Hetheru is known as the Great Manat. She and her priestess wore the emblem, the necklace, and used it what? To pass their powers to others. It was healers. In joining the powers of what? Men and Hetheru used the innate and which is the innate and dormant powers inside where? Every human being. Once it's awakened, it can be perfected. Well, I'm not human. I can't be perfect. You can be perfect in your actions toward what? Your higher self, meaning you're going to do what's right. That's perfection. Moving on. In order to develop men's and Hetheru's qualities within oneself, a healthy and honest attitude toward this most sacred concept, one's body and the mind must be cultivated. These principles, again, principles are to be viewed as what? Tools to what? Assist us in what? Learning how to master what? The art of living, aka knowing thyself. Again, the road always ends up in knowing thyself. For right thinking philosophy. I'm just saying. My goal is to get you to do just that. Watch this. They are not life itself. No, they're principles. Nor are they the purpose of life. Again, principles of living by. Abstinence and overindulgence. Abstinence, overindulgence. Which one you going to do? Your choice. Again, are two what? Extreme sides. But guess what? Of the same coin. But what happens? They both lead to what? Imbalance. That's why. The middle path, Mayat, of progressing in one's own pace is with preferred strategy. To know, practice Mayat is the preferred way to go. Right thinkers, my strategy is the way to go. Let me wrap this up for you right quick. And now, from practicing right thinking philosophy of your sexual sublimation and virtue, spiritual powers, or the Siddhis, Siddhis, as they call it in India, watch this, will come in what? In the form of, you ready? Understanding, being able to control one's temper. That's the ego being controlled. Once you're able to supplement the ego, then that little fella don't run the show no more. Okay, what the body want, what the cravings are, don't run the show no more. You become spiritually conscious, all those things take a back seat. Okay, remember, right thing philosophy, practice patience and tolerance in what? In adverse situations. That's doing the right thing. No matter what's going on around you, do the right thing and you maintain your right to be your best self. You ain't got to worry about, well, nah, you do what you're supposed to do. And wrapping it up is as one advances, greater powers will what? Will develop where? Within you. When one is ready to understand and use them what? Properly. Having a weapon, having a tool, and not know how to use it is a waste of time. No need of having it. So having knowledge, not no use, understanding how to use it is no good either. Okay? Now, that lesson is over. I got one for you. Yeah, we can close out. I got a few minutes. I'm going to take a little more time. Wow, this is a good one. This is called psychic powers. I won't say this for a separate lesson, but I'm going to piggyback off what we just went through. Why? Because psychic powers is the next level. Psychic powers are what? Are form of what? Mental achievements. And they may or may not be related to spiritual achievements. The attainment of what? A college degree, for example, is a psychic power. You got knowledge of something that everybody don't have. So that's considered a psychic power. But watch this. But it is done for what? Worldly achievements. It's as if you got magic powers. Watch this. And the development of psychic powers for spiritual attainment, here you go, requires purity of heart. Okay? A mind which is free from what? Passion, desires for what? Worldly objects and physical objects can be achieved. What? With knowledge and understanding, practicing right thing philosophy. And all psychic powers, however, what require some level of mental concentration in order to attain them. You have to put some work in. There's some things that you actually have to do. And the ability to what? To concentrate may be improved through what? The practice of mental concentration exercises such as what? Meditation and the practicing of the virtues. Live right, do right, handle yourself accordingly. Forgiveness is the most important psychic power. Why? Because this ability to forgive oneself first, there you go, and others for one's mistakes is essential. You have to understand people make mistakes and you have to forgive them for that. They said forgive somebody who maliciously mistreats you. They said for mistakes. So let's get it clear. They watch this. There will be many failures, okay, on your spiritual path to enlightenment. Don't worry about that. These are what? Merely tests to help what? Strengthen one's resolve. See how bad you want it, okay? And to raise your consciousness and wisdom through what? Experience on a day-to-day basis. Incorporate living right in your daily life. If we take life, again, which is really just relative reality, so hard and what happened, and forget that the greater picture, which is absolute reality, which is next level up, we become what? Preoccupied in an unforgiving bitterness and mental unrest state, become constant companions with what? A higher spiritual evolution becomes impaired. It's hard to enlighten an ignorant person who thinks and believes they know what they're doing, and they really don't. Through the ignorance, life becomes what? Constantly miserable experience for who? In which those who are always at fault with what? With something, and therefore mental peace is seldom, if ever, possible for those kinds of people. Those who don't know, but believe and think they know, their life is never going to be happy. They're never going to be at peace. So, through introspection, watch this, and self-analysis, right thinkers, if you don't police yourself, if you don't go inside yourself and check yourself, you're never going to know yourself. And watch this. Introspection and self-analysis are what? Good ways to discern one's motives and actions for yourself. You know if your motives and actual intentions are admirable or wrong. Come on, man. Only you, again, can decide if you acted on the basis of what? Your lower nature, me, I, which is set, your emotion, your ego, your body desires, guilt, and fear. Or if you acted out of your higher self, your Ba, the higher self, Hetheru, Maya, purity, light, and righteousness. That's your call. Again, it don't change no matter what the circumstances, no matter what the situation. You have a choice to do what you know to be right or what you want. Simple as that. Moving on. Self, higher self. One of the greatest psychic powers is what? To be able, you ready? To control one's emotion, aka ego. If you don't have control of that ego, all bets is off. Why? It is said that emotions are great servants, but poor masters and leaders. Because what? Intense emotions tends to cloud the thinking process. I was on the streets. The phrase was maintain your cool. Okay? Don't blow your cool. No matter what go down, act like it's cool. That means a state of mind, a state of being. I knew that back then. I used it that way. Now I'm going to find out, yeah, I just used it in a different purpose, but I was using it for what I needed to get done. So I understand that. So that's how I can teach the concept. Why? I know it. Emotionally, watch this. Emotionally based actions in which a lot of men who are raised by single parent mothers, y'all are emotional. Men ain't supposed to be emotional. That's a female trait. Understand that. So this is why when y'all hear the phrase, you was be-made, don't get mad or offended. Just understand that and take some of the emotion out of your manliness, okay? Find somebody to tutor you to help you become a man. Why? A woman can't make a man. That's why. So understand that. If you're a single parent, no disrespect. No, but your job, you're doing a great one, but you can't be his father too. Understand that. It took a father to create him. It's going to take a father to raise him. Vice versa. Moving on. It takes two. As a parent, that's a two-people job. When emotionally based actions usually promote what? Detrimental results. You're going to act out, and all of a sudden, you're going to regret that action. Why? Because it was done out of emotion, not logic and reasoning. In which what? One becomes further embroiled in what? In unwanted situations. Once you hit her, once you physically assault somebody, now you got to deal with all the consequences and repercussions that comes with that. These unwanted, that's what the unwanted situation, when dealt with again in an emotional manner, will lead to what? Further entanglements. And in the world of what? Relative reality, that's the way of life for some people. Constant chaos, constant drama. It's always something. They never, it's always something going on. Chaos. And most people, like I say, live in this way. I'm just saying, acting and reacting based on their uncontrolled mental state, which produces a cycle of alternating pleasurable and painful situations, both in which lead to mental agitation and unrest. You see where I'm going with this? Okay, you're going nowhere. Patience is another important psychic power to develop. Why? Because patience is necessary for the task of spiritual growth, since it may take years to correct your negative subconscious thoughts patterns learned in what? This life, this or even previous lives. But the idea is for you to take care of it now. Wrapping it up with what? Okay, the highest psychic power is what? You see that right there? That's called a Jed Club. And you see the four rings at the top? From 1 to 7. From 1 to 3, you're beastly. From 4 to 7, you're becoming conscious. You become aware of who you are. That's the name of the game. Let me read this right quick what I just showed you. That's the Jed pillar of a saw, representing what? The back of a saw. The Jed is related to what? The top chakras of the energy centers of the consciousness that are developed by all who are what? On right thinking philosophy, spiritual path. This is what is referred to as, you ready? Master the fire of the back and life-giving fire, which is knowledge of self, which is raise your kundalini consciousness to the seventh degree, where everything just unfolds in front of you. That's the concept. Let's read this. The highest physical power, psychic power, proper, again, sublimation of your life force, which is developed from what the sexual energy center can increase the creative power if what used for Maya, positive good intentions, reserving, supplementing your sexual desires. When directed, watch this, to the divine, meaning keeping it in, your psychic power can what? Lead to union with what? The divine, netter. This union may be seen in the Egyptian principles of who? Heru and Set, Asar and the Set, Men and Hetheru, the sun and the moon, as well as the East Indian deities Krishna, Radha, Shiva, and Shakti, Parvati, and Ganesha and Seti, Siddhi. Now that's the lady with the elephant. I got a picture that I'll show you that in a minute. But this union between two opposites also represents the marriage of what? The cosmic energy and earth energy, physical and mental, spirit and body, when both energies are of the same nature and differ only in what? Polarities. Thus, when they are united, what happens? They revert to their primordial state, which is what? Beyond polarity. The earth energy, which represented by Gab, rises from the base of the spine, goes up, and what happened as he's going up at the seventh level? Guess who's there? Nope. So he's going to reach to heaven. He's going to reunite with his love of his life, heaven. Watch this. Now, when that happens, when this occurs, what that means? That the energy consciousness centers at the crown of the head opens and one becomes anointed with the life force energy produced by the union of what? The male principle and the female principle. This is the highest psychic power, anointing you with knowledge of self. When you ready for this? When one becomes Christ, the anointed one, or Heru, whoever you choose to make a difference. I just gave that lesson, but watch this. Now, let's talk about this gross thing right here. Closing up, wrapping it up. Okay, that's the Hindu version of male and female coming together. But the Ganesha is the elephant. And watch this, the elephant deity and faculty, Ganesha, or whatever how you pronounce it. In Indian Hindu mythology, it symbolizes, watch this, the awakening of sexual fire, the fire that urges us on to live and endure what? Spiritual ideas. And also it's the opening of the way, creating auspiciousness in one's spiritual discipline by invoking Ganesha's enable ones to attain peace of mind for what? Meditation. The attainment of what Ganesha symbolizes are Siddhis or supernatural powers, which Ganesha is one with what? The preceding deity Ampu, Anubis, fills the role of what? The opener of the way. He do in Indian what Anubis does in Egypt. You got Gad, men. You have Asar, and are usually represented by what? The symbols of fertility and erectile power, which means they're going to show you the big penis. That's what they do for showing you regeneration, and men shows you how to supplement that energy by retaining it within oneself and using it for more noble and glorious purpose. Self-knowledge by retaining semen. Okay, understand the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Now we're moving on to the Tantra Yoga. I got that coming for you next, right now. In closing, right thinkers, may you all live to be 100 and may 100 minus a day. So I never know that right thinkers like you have passed away. I'm out, but I'll be back.